Hi team, Andrew Cox, part of the PTA Global faculty community coming to you from Hong Kong. It's my turn today to talk to you about the video of the week, and what I'd like to cover is games. And the game that I'd like to introduce, it can be a little bit of fun, but then also I'd like to maybe take it a little bit beyond the point of fun, even though it's going to be fun, but let's have little add-ons and talk about maybe the art of coaching. To introduce the idea, I'd like to give reference to Noel Tichy from the University of Michigan, who has given me inspiration towards this, as well as Frank Forentich and of course everyone at PTA Global, Hoppo, and of course AD for games. The game that I'd like to introduce today is magnetism, and I'll play with my faithful assistant Raymond here in a second. But before I do, I'd like to introduce the concept. And this is from Noel Tichy, and you can see here I've got 3 concentric circles. So in the centre we have what we call the safe zone, and then we go, as we get further away from the centre, we venture into the learning zone, and then further away again is into the panic zone. The point that I'd like to use this for, when we talk about the art of coaching and getting the most out of our clients or athletes, is we need to really look at where do we get the most growth or the most adaptation from. And that's I like to call this little sweet spot here, between the learning and the panic zone. And then that sort of begs the question, well, that leaves a sort of open-ended answer into how far into the panic zone do you go, or how far into the learning zone do you stay? Well, then that obviously depends on our Dr. O, our daily readiness observation. How much sleep did you get that night? How well hydrated, nutrition, and of course, mindset. So if I bring in Raymond who is the bones of what we call optimum performance studio. He's the central nervous system right here. I'm just an arm of that called the peripheral nervous system. But what we're going to do, the game is magnetism. So the role of Raymond, he's going to be the athlete and I'll be the coach. And first, the role of the coach, I need to build rapport with my athlete. And let's define rapport as more along the lines of a physical conversation. So if we just juxtapose that for a second and say, well, if Raymond and I were martial artists and we were fighting, and then we were in rapport, and Raymond's totally out of rapport with me at the moment, but if we were in rapport and we were sparring, and if Raymond threw a punch, and I'm in rapport, then I move, I react. So it's a physical conversation. When he moves, I move. When I move, he responds. So we create rapport. And for martial artists, rapport is incredibly important, because when you become out of rapport, it's when you become out of consciousness often. So, as the coach, it's my role. I need to find, in essence, I need to find my athlete's sweet spot. Because if I keep him in the safe zone, adaptation and growth doesn't occur. If I take him too far into the panic zone, well, we don't adapt to that also. So my role as coach primarily is to find Raymond's sweet spot. Okay? So Raymond, all you have to do, you have to keep your 2 fingers on my 2 fingers. So at the moment, we're just creating a physical conversation. As I move, in essence, Raymond listens. And now I start to really search. Let's see how well he listens as an athlete. He's not listening. Well, so now he's been the coach. I want you to listen. No. There, now we start to listen. He needs to respond to me as the coach. Beautiful. And that's about 30 seconds. So you can see that the game, in essence, magnetism, it's a beautiful interplay of mobility, stability, and reactiveness. And that's totally unconscious. It can just be empty fun. Of course, it doesn't have to be. But I like to use this at the start of when I run workshops to introduce the art of coaching. Because we deliver so much the science, but this is in some way the beautiful art of coaching, and it often sets good tone for the rest of the workshop when I work with people. It also makes you out of breath. And as I was saying, it can be just empty fun, and for my clients who are super stressed dudes, empty fun is pregnant with benefits, to be a bit cheesy. Raymond's going to be the coach, and I'm going to be the athlete. We switch hands. My role as the athlete, I need to listen to the coach. Your role is to find my sweet spot.
Okay.
Raymond is a lovely, compassionate person. Did you see what he did? He hooked my fingers. So in essence, he dearly wanted me to succeed. So as a person, he's very compassionate, he's doing a great job. But as a coach, man, come on, man, he's keeping me in the safe zone. He wants me to succeed. I need to get uncomfortable. In order for me to venture in the sweet spot, Raymond, take me there. Challenge me, please. Be my friend. Be a great coach. There we go. Whoop. Whoop. Oh, hello. Here we go. Oh! As an athlete, I'm lucky. Alright, you've got to challenge me a little bit more on this one day. You've got to challenge me a little bit. Do something. Challenge, there we go. Oh, no, I'm not. So well, I've got myself in trouble. Alright, thank you. As you can see, the game in itself, very simple. The task is you just keep contact with my hand, and then we move. Which plane of motion is in? You name it. Is there 50 planes of motion we're up to now? We cover all the planes of motion, cover all the lines. As far as the system sciences and tools of the PTA Global program, it certainly ticks a lot of boxes. Plus, as I said before, it can just be empty fun, which is enough for me. So thank you very much. Part of the Hong Kong department, coming from Optimum Performance Studio. See you later.